Hi, this is Terry Lupo, and my birthday is coming up October 1st. Instead of sending me all the exotic gifts and bags of money you guys usually send, I'd like you to instead contribute to the Free State Project Money Bomb. On October 1st, there'll be a money bomb. And if you contribute more than $100, you get this really cool silver round. That's right. If you don't know what the Free State Project is, it's a group of liberty-minded people all moving to one area to try to reduce the size of government back down to the intended levels of life, liberty, and protection of property, or even less. Check it out at www.freestateproject.org. Hello, this is Terry Lupo. Welcome to Low Country Liberty Report. Today I'm going to be taking you to the Tybee Lighthouse. Tybee Island's a little island basically right next to Savannah in Georgia. And it's a beautiful place, lots of fun things to do. But what I'm also going to be discussing are how these lighthouses are funded. But first I'm going to take you to how we got there. Actually, me and my wife rented a little three-wheel moped thing. I'm going to take you to that now.
This is Terry Lupo. Welcome to LCL Report. And also welcome to Poor Man's Pimp My Ride. Now, Exhibit needs to pimp this thing. It only got 3 wheels. 3 wheels. Someone, we're going to put some 20s on here, maybe these days, 25, maybe 30s. We're going to make it up. We don't care. We're going to have wheels that when you stop, they keep spinning. And don't forget about the fuzzy dice.
Oh, yeah.
In the fish tank, in the fireplace. We're going to put it all in here. All right, that's good.
I'll film it.
This is our spider.
Now these things go pretty fast, actually. About 30 to 35 miles per hour. Here we're out on the main strip going right into Tybee, and it's keeping up. And it's actually fast enough it can pass a good speed walker. Look at that lady. Anyway, Tybee's really pretty. You can even check out all these trees here. Sadly, I don't go to Tybee much, but they do have all the trimmings of a beach. They've got, of course, the shopping and the tourist stuff, but they also have a really nice, expensive pier that you can go and go fishing or basically sit around and people watch. And Tybee also has some beautiful, beautiful water and waves, and you'll see people playing all times of the year, and some more people watching here, of course. How could you miss that? But look at that pier. Anyway, so we get to the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is actually very big and impressive. It's a pretty famous lighthouse, and most people know about it. If you don't know anything about lighthouses, they're all painted different, so you can recognize them. Sailors, when they used to go around and they weren't sure where they were, they could tell by the painting which lighthouse they were at. And they also had, a lot of off buildings, and of course they have their own lazy cat that just sat there like a log. He looks like he has a pretty good life, though. So when you actually go into the lighthouse, there's like a zillion steps, and I'm really out of shape, and it just kept going. Now there's like platforms along the way to rest. I'm going to give you an idea of what the step climb is here. But what got me thinking was, how do they pay for this stuff, and the upkeep, and who pays for it, how do lighthouses get built? Basically, I had a million questions. And what I kind of found out was this, that originally the Navy built all these lighthouses and the government owned all this land. So then the Coast Guard was formed, and the Coast Guard took over. It was owned by the Coast Guard. And that went on for a long time. They upkept it. And what happened was eventually lighthouses were kind of phased out as we didn't need them anymore. And the government then turned around and sold them to private caretakers and entities. Yet they still kept some sort of quasi-claim on the land. That part I don't really understand. I just assume once the government owns something, they never ever really give it up. So somehow they still have some sort of claim to it. Anyway, this one is owned by a private organization that takes care of the lighthouse. And when I interviewed them, they told me some really interesting things about how they raise money and keep it going. My understanding is they raise money 3 ways. They have charity donations where they'll do big fundraisers. They also have a souvenir shop, and of course you pay to go on the tour, go up into the lighthouse and look around. And then the third way, unfortunately, is taking government grants. Now, kudos to the organization, the Tybee organization, that keeps this lighthouse running, because they did an awesome job on the restoration. And a lot of really good charities do great work. My big bone to pick, of course, is that grant money is just tax money in disguise. They put a fancy name on it, calling it a grant, but it's still other people's money you're taking to run whatever your interests are. So I'd like to see them get away from taking grant money and go completely on taking private money from donations and also their charity shop, which seems to work really well. When we were there, the place was pretty hopping and had a lot of tourists. And really, they've done an awesome job at restoring it. A good example of this is also how they restored the little houses around the building as well. There is little caretaker houses and outbuildings and things like that, and you can actually take tours of those too. For people that don't know, they actually had a family that would live there and whose job it was to keep the light on in that place. And you probably read books or seen TV shows where they had a family, but that was real. They actually had real families, and they interviewed the people that were living there as kids. The big question is, what happens to all these lighthouses that aren't well taken care of? Tybee is a really good example of bringing them back to life, and they've done a great job. There's a lot of lighthouses up and down the coastlines that are just in massive disrepair or just frankly abandoned. So I'm hoping that the free market will solve this problem if enough of these are turned over from the state to the free market. If there's a supply and demand, a want for them, they'll survive. So on a closing note, I'm going to take you inside the caretaker's building here, and I'm going to show you where they used to put all the bad children. There was a huge hole in the floor, which I found out was really a cistern, but you could show your kids this and tell them that's what they used to do back in the old days. So this is Terran Lupo, and as always, good hunting, and get out and support one of these lighthouses so they don't go away forever. Let's show them the private market can take care of this. Oh yes, don't forget the money bomb tomorrow. Help the Free State Project.
It's Mark Edge with Free Talk Live. You can see us at